Contempted Christ. All right, all sidetracks are gone. Jesus, bad start. Nobody didn't say I couldn't be drunk for these ones. Coming up on Verse, Chorus, Verse, a band I ignored for 15 years that I am genuinely angry about. An artist I have never once believed. The greatest album nobody bought. And the record that accidentally changed the entire sound of Latin music. 4 albums, one guy, no Rachel, no evil, just me, you, and some drinks. That's next. Hi, everybody. I'm DL. I hope you're well. I'm doing great. Flying solo. You know the deal. Happy hour. 500 greatest albums of all time. Rolling Stone. Do you know them? Have you heard of them? What do you think? What do you think about the band? What do you think about the magazine? We know it as the magazine, right? Rolling Stone came out with the 500 greatest albums and the greatest songs of all time, and we're talking about them. We are all the way down to 476. We're kicking ass and taking bubble gum, and I'm all out of takes. How's everybody doing? You know, health, life, whatever's going on. I'm doing well. I've been super healthy. Tonight, I went out with my sales team. We have some new salespeople. Super excited about that. And over imbibed a little bit. I think I'm still right on the cusp of my calorie. I'm shooting for 2,000 calories a day. People, I'm really into it. I'm really doing it. I'm doing the workouts every morning. I'm doing the double times. I'm working out in the night too. I'm really doing it. I'm feeling really good. Eating incredibly right tonight. Salmon, green beans, mashed potatoes. Guess who ate the salmon and the green beans and not the mashed potatoes, even though that was the thing that he wanted? You proud of me? I'm proud of me. I think you should be proud of me. Did I also have an espresso martini? Maybe a tequila drink? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Over imbibing. Hey, we can't be perfect, right? The question is, do I count it as my cheat meal? I don't think I do. Hey, I have a question for you. We're going to call it the listener question of the night. What is the most overrated album on the Rolling Stone 500 list? We are getting deep enough now into the list that we can have opinions. You, me, we can talk about it a little bit, right? I think that we can. I think that we should. In fact, I don't think I'm going to do it on this one, but I think on the next one, I am going to kind of do a little bit of I think we're going to discuss how big some of the changes are. One of them is very obvious. My number one album was their 500th album, and it's going to keep climbing. Or is it? Or have we finally gotten to where that album is going to be knocked off of my favorite? But we're already at 476. Look, 25 albums. That's not a small bit, right? That's not. And I think it's going to keep going higher. 500 albums. Yeah, let me know. I don't hear much about what you think about my list thus far. I think you're scared of disagreeing with me because I'm so smart. Is what it is. I get it. I wouldn't want to disagree with me either. That's amazing. I made it a little too. Should we get to the most important part of the night? It is the night. What are we? I have an old-fashioned look. I am talking about an album. I'm talking about some good shit tonight, people. I really am. But one specific album is an American album, and it deserves an American drink. What it deserves is it deserves a Buffalo Trace old-fashioned. Could I have gone Eagle Rare? I could have. But here's the thing about being American. You don't want it easy. You want to work for it, right? But you kind of, you don't want to like work for it. Look, it's not like Buffalo Trace is slumming it. It's amazing. It's not Eagle Rare. I didn't want to go Eagle Rare. Plus, also, I've been talking too much about Eagle Rare. I've been ignoring my good buddy Buffalo Trace, which is Eagle Rare Jr. It's a Buffalo Trace Old Fashioned. It is Buffalo Trace. It is Angostura bitters, both the traditional Angostura bitters and then the Fee Brothers orange bitters a little bit, and then some orange rind, some simple syrup. It's funny because as I've gotten older, sweet drinks don't do it as much for me, but the sweetness in an old fashioned is different, and old fashions get better to me as time goes on. That's how I'll put it. Okay, that's how I'll do it. I'll just say it like that. I'm excited to get to it. How are you guys feeling about the happy hour stuff? How are you guys feeling about the radio? I got a little feedback on the Radiohead. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't. A little more negativity than usual. Nothing like Metallica. We don't get negative feedback very often. I think we have, at this point, we do have a steady rise. We have devoted listeners, I guess I'd say. And it's given me a lot of confidence in the pod, actually. So much so that I think we're going to prep some press kits, and hey, maybe we'll get some money. We will get it figured out, and then you get more of us. Who doesn't want that, right? Anyway, I digress. Radiohead, how's that going? You were okay with the first episode? Maybe some of you didn't like. I think some of you took me drinking and just wanting to talk about the ginormous monstrosity that Creep was as a dishonor. I don't know what to say, man. I've dealt with that before on the pod. I get it. Sometimes DL, look, it's not a DL doesn't give a fuck, and he gets drunk and he's like, fuck it, I don't care. Your friendly neighbor. Your friendly neighborhood DL gets nervous, particularly when I'm talking about something like Radiohead. Radiohead is not a small thing. I'm putting this out there into the world to anybody that wants to hear it. Talking about Radiohead to somebody's going to look up that knows way more about Radiohead. Look, it's a nerve-wracking thing. I drank a lot and I talked about Radiohead, the first part. I'm okay with it. I hope most of you are okay with it. And the next one's going to be different. I think the next one's going to... Look, we're going to keep going. I'm going to delve a lot more into the musicality song by song when we get to Kid A and Amnesiac. And then we also have OK Computer, obviously, before that. And guess what? I'm not going to be alone on that. We're talking to Evil and Rachel about it, which you already know. So we'll check in on the Radiohead. Hope you guys are doing okay. Look, it's going to get a lot more complex the deeper we dive with Radiohead. And there's a lot coming that I don't think some of you are going to see coming. I have takes. I have deep takes that go far into their discog. Should we get to the 500 greatest albums of all time in accordance to Rolling Stone? I think we should. Should we start at number 476? Yes. We've already done all the other ones, before that, obviously. Let's go to Kimono My House by the Sparks. Now, we did get to this album on the YouTubes 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I did get a little flack for it, and I feel like it was well-deserved. We'll talk about that. I wasn't a huge Sparks guy. Has that changed? Ron and Russell Mael, they are the LA brothers. This was recorded in London. It was produced by Muff Winwood. Yes, Steve's brother. Yes, I didn't know that. Sue me for not knowing that Steve Winwood's brother was a big time, this is glam rock. This is art pop. This is Island Records. 32 minutes. I mean, right up our alley, right? You know how much we love those short albums. Evil and Rachel are the short albums, people. I'm fine with a long album. Give me that Peter Gabriel all day long. I'm fine with it. I have known about Sparks for years. I've actively ignored them for no good reason. I've just never sat down with them. We all have those bands, right? What other bands can you slap me across the face with? It? Tool. I sat on Tool for years and years and years. Just watching those fuckers with the Tool t-shirts going, okay. And I knew, like, look, your friendly neighborhood DL doesn't hear sober, see that video on MTV and think, holy fuck, he totally did. Might have ripped off some of that. We won't get into that. There are bands that you sit on. There just are. Look, Studying for these forces the issue. I'm not going to keep talking about it. I talk about it every episode. These are the ones I love. These are the ones that force me to get into stuff and realize that I love them. I just realized that, and then you get pissed at yourself that you waited so long to get in to a Sparks or a Radiohead. They've actually been growing on me the last few years through osmosis, mostly because of this podcast. I've heard them referenced. I've seen them popped up. They pop up everywhere as influences everywhere. And this album locked it in. I was the idiot that didn't listen to Sparks. Don't be me, everybody. Don't be me. Learn from my mistakes, young children. For all of you young children listening to this, have a drink, listen to Sparks. These mofos were huge in the UK and nobody gave a fuck about them in the US. Classic DL territory. What are we doing in America type shit. The Mail Brothers are genuinely one of the weirdest stories in rock. They look insane, they write insane shit, and it somehow works completely, like as in the cover of this album, which is borderline racist, whatever. It's back in the day. Back in the day gets a pass? Question mark? I don't have to answer that. Not my fault. It's campy, it's theatrical, it's witty. It's not straight ahead rock. It's not at all. You know who cited them as an influence is the influencer of influencers, Queen. Morrissey's fucking obsessed with them. That tells you everything. Queen and Morrissey love the Sparks. Some other things that I found over the last couple years kind of getting into this band, Ron Mail studied film at UCLA, not music. That explains everything about why the arrangements feel cinematic and theatrical rather than technically showy. He's writing songs like a film composer thinks. This town ain't big enough for the both of us shifts time signatures mid-song. Like I think 4 and 6, I don't remember. 4 4 and 6 8 deal. Did you write it down? It is a switch that you feel tension without knowing why, and that's sophisticated writing disguised as a pop song. Basically, those are the things that make music lovers. Yes, they were using layered synth keyboards in 1974 in ways that predicted new wave for years. The Cars, XTC, Depeche Mode, Sparks is a huge reason for a lot of that. And every single song on this album was written by the Mail Brothers. No outside writers, nothing like that. That was really unusual in 1974, like a glam rock thing. That's why they have a coherence that a lot of their contemporaries didn't have. It's post Bowie, but it still deserves its flowers. Come on to my house. Should we do some awards and categories? 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. This is so theatrical and campy that it's hard to know how to take it seriously as a rock album. I think it deserves to be taken seriously. I understand why some people wouldn't. I would say it like that. I think Sparks is not one of those. Sparks is one of those bands that you either know about and love them or you don't. So I'm treading light ice here. So not a fucking expression. And I know that Sparks is one of those bands that if you're listening to this, you love them and you're pissed off if I say anything bad about them. I understand where people would say that this is too much of a thing. Sorry. What's love got to do with it? Did I come in with bias? Yeah, it's an LA band that got huge in Britain making glam pop in 74. It's not my wheelhouse. Knowing Queen loves them, yeah, it helps. But it's the type of thing that I don't shy away from by any means, but I'm not running to. But maybe I should. The DMX Award, Ron Mail's keyboard playing. The way he and Russell split like songwriting and performance, it's genuinely unlike anything else, particularly of the time. The falsetto in this is freaking crazy. They are not doing what anybody else was doing in 74. That's for fuck's sake, sure. The Mark Lanning and True Rockstar Award, they were bizarre as shit. Ron Mail had a Hitler mustache on stage and just stared at the audience with no expression while his brother ran around like a lunatic. That's not like, that's the sort of behavior they were doing. So I'm not saying it's good. Just saying that's what they did. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. This is criminally underrated in the US. Probably properly rated in the UK. Underrated globally currently because nobody talks about them really. Like you see Sparks occasionally on Instagram and the like, but no, like you can't do anything but underrated. And I don't want to, kudos to Rolling Stone for having them on this, I guess. Influences, influencees. I talked about it a lot. Queen, XTC, Morrissey, Franz Ferdinand. Franz Ferdinand made music with the Sparks. So that's a quite literal influence. Pet Shop Boys, that sort of thing. Never mind the Bullocks Award. I did not listen to all the Sparks stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I know that Propaganda in 1974 was also really, really big, kind of the entry point for a lot of big fans. I listened to it. It's really good. I think this might be better. I don't know. You Sparks freaks, you tell me, where do you go from Kimono My House? If I listen to Kimono My House, I get really into it. I have listened to Propaganda. It's good. Where do I go? What do I get super into? What's the next record I buy? No, dude, seriously. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. It's the big single. It's the start. It's legitimately crazy. The falsetto over the glam rock piano. It predicts new wave, and it's crazy. It's crazy in a good. It's the thing that I just keep going back to. The John Popper Best Hook Award. I'm really sorry, you guys. You're going to notice a pattern here. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. That chorus just hits you. Whether you want it to or not, it's there. It's there from the very start. Yeah. The John Prine Best Lyric Award Amateur Hour. There's a lot of lines in Amateur Hour. I'm going to say pretty much the whole song. It's really sharp and witty. They're making fun of like everything. They're making fun of themselves, which is in that time, again, I keep saying it, it's rare. The Eddie Van Halen Award, Ron Mail's keyboard through the whole thing. He's technical. It's really technical. He's doing a lot of heavy lifting. It gets overshadowed. Maybe because of how weird everything is. The Surfer Rosa Award, it is it's 32 minutes. I mean, God bless anybody that puts up a 32-minute album. Right? 3 best songs. Hasta Mañana Monsieur. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down. Number 2, Amateur Hour. I talked about it. The lyrics are great. But number 1, we all know what it is. It's This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us. It's fucking rad. It's such a rad song. This does belong on the list. I do own it. When I first covered this, I didn't want it. And then I covered it again and I looked back at DL 3 years ago and 4 years ago, and I said, dude, what the fuck? What about this did you not like enough to put on the goddamn, like, of course, yes, I went and bought it. And I found it cheap, too. This isn't a hard album to find. I think it was probably everywhere in the 70s, so yeah. It was easy. It wasn't expensive. I love it. I think it's a great album. What do I rate it? This is genuinely great. It does require the right mood and the right mind. So we'll give it an 8.2. How about an 8.2? It's a great album. It really is. And it's kind of like a ABBA-ish. It's just smart and it's hard and I like it. Okay. Let's go to our next album. Good job, Sparks. Good job, Sparks. Let's go to our next. These are the things that piss me off. Okay. I'm doing Kimono My House. It's a really solid album. And then Rolling Stone right above it as a better album puts Sheryl Crow's Self. And we'll go to that next, I guess. If we talk about Sheryl Crow, Where is Rachel when you need her? Sheryl Crow self-titled second album, Tuesday Night. Yeah, Tuesday Night Music Club in 1993, produced by Sheryl Crow, some collaborators. If it makes you happy, change will do you good. Every day is a winding road. Look, I have some complicated feelings about Sheryl Crow, not because she's bad, but she's so aggressively of a specific moment in the 90s. It's hard to separate if she's good or just a really good pop Americana rock writer. She's from Kennett, Missouri. She backed up for Michael Jackson for a while. On the Bad tour, actually, it was fucking badass. This is the album where she totally took control. She produced it herself. She wrote everything basically like I don't need a committee. And this is the one where she pumped out a shit ton of hits. And hey, good for her. Good for her. I've just never fucking bought it, man. I've never bought it. I've never felt like she was being real. There's something polished to the point of feeling performed about Sheryl Crow that you just can't shake. There's other artists like this too. Let me think of a comparison. I don't want to go like full on fucking Train, like the overtly. I've been listening to the good stuff for so long that I know exactly how to write it, even though I don't really care what I'm saying. Sort of stuff. That Miranda Lambert album that I talked about, the whatever Angel Wing, whatever. She felt like a woman like bleeding into the fucking mic. Crow feels like a woman who knows exactly how she wants to be perceived and is executing it flawlessly. That's a skill. It's just not genuine to me. I don't know if she's fake or not. I'm not saying she's fake. I'm just saying the music never made me feel like she wasn't performing. That's a problem. I don't know. Here are some facts. There is a lot of really cool stuff about Sheryl Crow. She was a jingle writer. She was a session musician. She sang backup. We already talked about that. The guitar and If It Makes You Happy is deliberately like distorted. She was consciously pushing against the slickness of the album. And ironically, knowing that makes it a little too polished. It was written with by herself, and it was a kind of a call and answer to Tuesday Night, whatever, where she wrote it with a shit ton of musicians. That's brave. That's worth crediting for this album, that she was like, I don't need to do it. I'll do it myself. Good for her. What's love got to do with it? Look, does the strong songwriting override the very of its time production and the fakeness? For me, it doesn't, and I don't know why, because there are other albums that are like this that I love. I love cheesy shit. This one just doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is about Sheryl Crow that just doesn't hit me. The DMX Award, she's genuinely a skilled guitarist. She gets overlooked because of how pop friendly she is. I do think she's more musician than she gets credit for. The Mark Lanigan True Rock Star Award. I mean, she dated Eric Clapton. She dated Lance Armstrong during the Tour de France. She's got rock star in her blood, literally. Sorry. Overrated, underrated, properly rated, properly in its time. This was massive. Currently, probably a little overrated for the list specifically. They put her ahead of the fucking Sparks, which is just not. No. It's just a not no. It's a not no. Influences and influencees: Tom Petty, REM, Alanis. And then in influences, she influenced a lot of the younger female singer-songwriters for sure. Never mind the Bullocks Award. I don't know if it's her best. If I'm going like this or Tuesday Night Music Club, I'm probably going this just because the writing stuff. There's, it's artistic control. No, dude, seriously. I'm probably going If It Makes You Happy. The guitar tone, the vocal performance, it is total Sheryl Crow. If you do like that, then you're gonna love this album, and you're gonna love all the rest of her stuff. John Popper Best Hook Award. It's Every Day Is a Winding Road. That opening guitar riff is one of the most instantly recognizable of that decade, like it or not. It is a that's a fucking hook, boys and girls. Boys and girls, the John Prine Best Lyric Award. Look, underrated because it's so popular, but if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. That's deceptively, for being so simple, that's deceptively good. It really is. There's something real there. That's a, yeah, I like that. The Eddie Van Halen Award, I already said it, and I know it's one of the big ones, but the guitar work and If It Makes You Happy is, like I said, she's an underrated player. That's good shit right there. It really is. This album, Surfer Rose Award, it's very, very front loaded. The best stuff is early, and then it absolutely coasts in the last half. Absolutely. Where are we at here? Time of Your Life Award, Love is a Good Thing. It's not memorable. Not Emerald. Lagasse. It's not memorable. It's fine. It also got pulled from Walmart for its gun violence lyrics. That's a whole thing. It's go read that. That's fun shit. So I'm at 33 minutes and I'm not going to keep talking about Sheryl Crow, or I'd go and do a fucking whole thing about what was it again? What's the song? Love is a good thing being pulled from Walmart because of gun violence. Jesus. Three best songs on the album. I know that I'm just going whatever. I'll go 3. Superstar. Superstar has this kind of funky, poppy thing that Sheryl Crow's good at. Number 2, I will go Every Day is a Winding Road. I don't know, it's fun. And then number 1, I'm actually going to go A Change Would Do You Good. There's something kind of a little bit bluesy, swampy about that. It's catchy. I mean, it's catchy as shit. Does it belong on the list at borderline? I think I would rather see Tuesday Night Music Club on this. It's not about like best choice an artist made. It's about best album. Now, I haven't listened to that one for a while. Maybe that's not even close to as good as this, but I doubt that. And would I own it? Absolutely not. No, I'm not going to ever own a Sheryl Crow unless my daughter makes me, and she won't because she has good taste in music. Rating. Look, it's not. She's a songwriter. She's a good guitarist. She doesn't have a shitty voice. She's cute. It is a nice, cool, crisp 7 out of 10 for Sheryl Crow's Sheryl Crow. And now we move to 474, and it is Big Star's #1 record, baby. Go look at our Instagram post because this is the album. And nothing like Sheryl Crow being sandwiched in between #1 record and Kimono My House. Look, I've been really, really positive about the Rolling Stone record list, but man, this is a tough one to have really high up at 474 because, yeah, we'll talk about it. This is Big Star's debut, Alex Chilton. You know Alex Chilton. You might know. Box Tops. Alex Chilton is good. I'll say that. I'm trying to get better. I shouldn't assume. You don't have to know things to listen to this pod. Come in. Don't know anything about music. Just have a drink with me and we'll chat. Wait until Evil and Rachel come. Then it's even more fun. Chris Bell recorded in Memphis at Ardent. Power pop, I guess. Barely anyone bought it when it came out. It was enormously influential, and that's almost doing it an injustice. Stop whatever you're doing. This is the one. This is the album on the batch that I need you to go listen to right now. I need you to go listen to in 30 minutes when this pod is over. This is the one. I Want to See the Bright Lights Tonight is high on my list. This is kind of the same atmosphere as that. It's that Americana, amazing writing. You turn on any of the songs and it starts and you kind of hear what's coming and you love what they're doing. The story of #1 record is almost too sad. It was a masterpiece that sold nothing because their distributor basically dropped the ball and never got it into stores. it's a perfect album that nobody fucking heard. Alex Chilton was already famous. Box Tops was the big thing for him. That his song called "The Letter." If you haven't, I mean, I think most of you have heard it. Go try it. Listen to 5 seconds. Just say, "Oh yeah, The Letter." But he walked away from the pop success to make something honest, and he got punished commercially for it. The Replacements wrote a song called Alex Chilton about how much they loved him. REM fucking worshiped this album. Let's see who Primal Screen, Teenage Fan Club. Like, this is the cult classic. This is the album that all those fuckers were listening to and being like, holy shit. Of course, In the Street from this album. Look, you watched that 70s show, right? Yes, that song, that's Big Star. The distribution disaster this is like one of the better tragedies in music history. Stax Records was their distributor, and they went bankrupt like right when this album came out and literally couldn't get it into stores. It like a perfect album failed because of bankruptcy, because they had no way to market it. Chris Bell and Alex Chilton had completely different musical personalities. We've seen that before, and sometimes it works amazing. Like, Bell is super technical and meticulous, and Chilton is the emotional raw guy, and it's that balance. It's that balance that you see in the Beatles and that other band that I can't think of right now, and that other band that I can't think of right now. Let's see, the Ballad of El Gudu. It's like simple folk, but the chord changes underneath is total jazz. It's more complex than anything that was coming out in 72, like, by far. And that's why it sounds adulty, I guess. Adulty is what I'd say. They recorded this in Memphis, the same room where ZZ Top and parts of Led Zeppelin were recorded. Okay. So that studio has a little bit of warmth, a little bit of, yeah, look at us. And then Alex Chilton was heavily influenced by the British invasion, filtered. It was like the Beatles, but he was also a Memphis guy. So it was like the Beatles filtered through Memphis, Elvis-y stuff, which Elvis loved, which the Beatles loved. It meshed well. He was kind of the perfect science experiment to make like really good poppy songs, but not super poppy songs, like respectable songs that you could play on the radio. Album's the shit, boys and gals. And what's love got to do with it? I love this kind of thing. I love it. It's honest. It's raw. It's perfectly crafted. There's no bullshit. This is what I want from a rock album, people. Okay? The DMX Award, like I said, Chilton and Chris Bell together. That is one of the great what ifs in rock. Bell left after this album. He died really young. What they created together in terms of pure like melody meets rawness, it's just different than anything from 72. The Mark Lanigan True Rock Star Award, Chilton is one of the great tragic figures of rock. Okay, he was too cool for his own success. He never compromised. He died in 2010, right before a planned reunion show for Big Star. It's the saddest of the rock and rolls. It is a rock and roll story. It's a sad one, but it is. Overrated, properly rated, underrated. I mean, are we fucking kidding? It's massively underrated. And look, you see this around, but it's sitting here at 474 on Rolling Stone, which I don't fucking get. I can't believe this isn't high. I can't believe if they were going to put it on here, it wouldn't be higher. This should be, I think this should be top 200. It really should. This album is, fuck, I'm listening, it's on. God damn, it's good. It's so good. Influences and influencees, The Replacements, REM, Teenage Fan Club, Wilco, Fountains of Wayne, Primal Scream, Guided by Voices. Basically every fucking rock band that the type of people that listen to this type of podcast love, this album. It's this fucking album. The Nevermind the Bullocks Award, is this their best? I don't know. I have listened to Radio City, which has its champions, but this one has Chris Bell in the full. You tell me, okay. I don't really have a dog in this fight. I love these guys, but I don't give a shit about album to album. I really don't. Then no, dude, seriously, Award, the Battle of El Gudu. It's one of the most beautiful songs ever recorded. It's simple, it's devastating, it's perfect. It's perfect. You can give that to anyone, right? Should I turn it on right now? So let's listen to the Battle of El Gudu. Oh, God, it just starts and but now I have to talk about the best hook, and it's not on this. It's Feel. It's Feel. The opening to Feel is so effortlessly hooky. I don't know. It feels like somebody should have written that way before these guys. You know those songs that you hear and you're kind of like, why the fuck didn't I write that? Or like, why wasn't that hook done fucking 20 years ago? That's that. That's kind of that sort of thing, you know? The John Prine Best Lyric Award. Look, I'm going to the same song, The Ballad of El Gudu. Check this out. There's a man in my head and he wants to be me. Writing that good in 72? By the way, he's 21 years old. He's 21 years old. Come on, man. Come on, man. Eddie Van Halen Award. How about Chris Bell's guitar through the whole fucking thing? If you want specifics, Feel. Don't Lie to Me. It's clean. It's melodic. It's devastating. It never shows off. I mean, that's not so much Eddie Van Halen, but I guarantee you, Eddie Van Halen loved this album. Right? Evil? Listen to this and tell me that Eddie Van Halen didn't just love the shit out of this album. There's no way he didn't. What if Evil hates this album? Fired. Surfer Rosa Award. It's 35 minutes. It's 12 songs. It's perfectly sequenced. There's not a wasted moment. It's front to back. It's not a Surfer Rosa. It doesn't have to be, because the guys just fucking punch through every great song that they had. It's great. I don't know. A Time of Your Life Award, ST 106, whatever the fuck that is. It's not bad. It just kind of loses steam a bit. That's the part where it loses steam, I'll say. But let's go to the best three songs. And yes, I have to put it on there. Number 3, In the Street. Yes, I know, but I'm owning it. Look, I'm not ashamed to say that the first time I heard these guys was because I heard the theme song to That 70s Show and said, what the fuck is that band? Because there's no fucking way that some sitcom pop writer wrote that. That's a fucking band. And I found these guys, and I found this album and said, holy shit. So yes, I have to put In the Street on there because they're the reason that I know these guys. Number 2 is Feel. That is the other, if In the Street doesn't rock your face off enough, Feel is right there. Feel is going to say, well, I'm the one. And then number 1 is, I've talked about it a lot. It's the Ballad of El Gudo. It's a Gudo. It's so fucking beautiful, you guys. It's so beautiful. It's just so well written. Does it belong on the list? Fuck yes, it belongs on the list. And good God, does it belong higher? Does it, like, this is gonna go higher. Do I think that it belongs higher than Arcade Fire? You're gonna find out really, really, really fucking soon. I'm giving this album a 9.1. That's really high, right? We've been doing the ratings. 9.1 is kind of my new 10. Saves room for some better stuff. Look, I'm turning a little Portnoy on this. Look, it's the pizza ratings. I got to be tough with this shit, you guys. It is a near perfect album that got robbed. It is one of the best things on the list so far, for sure. I know that I gave Arcade Fire a 10, but who knows? Maybe I put this higher. I guess we're going to find out. Did I spoil it? I don't think so. All right. Last album. I got to pump it out here. Jesus, I'm taking too much time. Look, the albums are getting better, so I'm going to maybe I'll have to lessen these and go to like 3 albums or something. Man, I got to wait till I get farther down, or we're never going to know this shit. Who's in a rush? I want to do this for 40 years. We are on to 473. It is Barrio Fino by Daddy Yankee. Puerto Rican rapper, singer. This album basically launched reggaeton as like a global genre. Gasolina is on here. So urban Latin reggaeton released by El Cartel Records. Look, full transparency, I know this by Gasolina and what I've heard in the clubs. And that's about it. Everybody knows it. It was inescapable in 2004, 2005, which I was like prime club years for me. Um, what this album did is genuinely historic. Reggaeton existed before this, but this album made it like a fucking global phenom, and that matters a lot. It really does. Like, everybody knows reggaeton now, but this is the reason. The dembow rhythm, right? That beat pattern, that doom, cat, doom, cat, doom, cat, doom, cat. That's everything now. That is everything. Bad Bunny, J Balvin, all of that starts here. It starts right here. As a front to back listen, it's really fucking tough, especially if it's not your genre. The production is extremely of a time. It slogs, and it is the same thing over and fucking over. But that's the thing. Songs like Gasolina are it's not even like a fucking cultural artifact. And I don't have much more to say about this album because it's not a good album. It's not. I'm not saying that it's not important, but this is about albums. It's the 500 greatest albums of all time, not fucking important songs. 70 million Jackson. I'll speed through this. 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. Multi-platinum globally. I'm on the island of people that probably don't like it more than like it as an album. What's love got to do with it? I super respect it. I don't really get it. I like Latin urban. I'm not going to own this album. Spoilers. DMX award. Daddy Yankee basically is reggaeton. Okay. He didn't invent it, but he packaged it in a way that the world would receive it. That's a skill. Mark Lanigan True Rockstar Award. He became the face of an entire genre. Duh. Overrated, properly rated. He sold a shit ton of albums. Okay. Influences and influencees. Look, this was all built on like Jamaican dance hall shit, right? Puerto Rican hip hop. But then after it influenced like every fucking Latin urban artist ever. Bad Bunny is the big one. Bad Bunny is so fucking massive right now. And he owes it to Gasolina, basically. Never Mind the Bullocks Award. I don't know if it's his best. I can't answer it. No Dude Seriously Award. Gasolina. There's no other answer. John Popper Best Hook Award. Gasolina. It's one of the most effective earworms of the 2000s, okay? John Prine Best Lyric Award. Pass. It isn't really a lyrics forward album anyway, from the little bit that I did read. Sorry. Van Halen Award. The production in Gasolina. Whoever built the beat, which I don't even know, deserves recognition. I'll say that. Surfer Rosa Award. This is front loaded. It's a hip hop album. It's front loaded. Time of Your Life Award. Anything in the middle of the album. 3 best songs. Temperatura is great. Dele Perio is great. Guess what my number 1 is? Come on, you motherfuckers. Does it belong on the list? It's historically essential, and it's a 500 list. So yeah, sure, put it on the list. No, I'm not going to own it. And I will give it a 6 out of 10 because it's an album. It's supposed to be an album and it's not. But if you're into some urban Latin reggaeton, go listen to this. And those are my albums. So where are we at so far? Where are we at with the I'll put some things on Instagram of my entire list, so go check that out. Where did these 4 land? Are they super high up? That number 1's got to be right. Well, here's the thing. Sheryl Crow's down there. It is right before Shaka Khan and Rufus. And right before Sheryl Crow, I'm putting Barrio Fino. Okay, so we'll get those out of the way. They are kind of in the lower third. Not at the very bottom, okay, but they're 2/3 of the way down. Top 10 just misses it is Kimono My House. I think the album is great. It is right in the middle of The Weight of These Wings. It is above Miranda Lambert, but it is below Nick of Time by Bonnie Raitt. We all know me and Bonnie Raitt. It is hard to get above Bonnie Raitt. And then number one record, did it take Funeral down? The answer is an unequivocal no. Here's the thing. Do I love number one record? Yes. But where am I putting it on this list? Funeral? No. Moan in the Moonlight? No. Far Side 2? No. I Want to See the Bright Lights? No. I think I Want to See the Bright Lights is actually a little better than number one record. And that is nothing against number one record, which I fucking love. I own it. It's going to be the Instagram pick for this, but it's a top 5. And it influenced albums that are even better. 3 for a loop. Let's go to the songs. Sneaky DL, that fucking guy. Everybody, should we get to songs? I got to speed it up and getting too good at this. Number 476. It is Sunday Morning Coming Down by Chris Christopherson. I don't know. I think I might make some enemies with this, and I guess I apologize. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Tell me where I'm wrong on some of these things. This was written by Christopherson, of course. This was made famous by Johnny Cash on the CMA Awards in 1970. Cash changed Stoned to Alone on air, which is, Cash was a funny dude, man, because he kind of had the little bit of the give a fuck, a little bit of the don't give a fuck, but he was into the, like, he was on Little House of the Prairie, dude. Like he wanted to fit the mold a little bit. I have the utmost respect for Christopherson. He's a legit legend. He's a songwriter. The Highwaymen were fucking everything. But the honest truth is that of the 4 Highwaymen, he's always been the one that I've been least drawn to. Blade or no, which, goddamn, I love him in that so much. When he comes on, I'm not skipping it, but I'm also not turning it up. You know what I mean? And Blaspheme, maybe. But I'm sorry. This song is kind of the perfect example. Why, though, for me? It's a great song. It's genuinely great. It really is. But Cash does this stuff better than Christopherson ever could. Prine could have written this and it would have hit just as hard. This is the thing with Christopherson. His best songs always feel like they kind of belong to whoever covers them. And I don't like, I know you can say that about a lot of people that wrote this sort of stuff back in the day because they're such good songs, but I don't feel that way about the other ones. And I never have. I do feel that way about him. Cash performing this on national TV while you know, maybe not giving a damn about the cleaned up lyrics or whatever. It's a rock star moment disguised in a country moment kind of thing. That's what lives on infamousy for this song. So how do you put it as Chris Christopherson's on here? He wrote it. I understand that, but he's not. That's like putting Watchtower on here, which I'm sure it is on here, as a Dylan song. When do we don't want to let's not touch that yet, right? Jesus, DL. I'm not saying it's a bad song, and it's not bad with him performing it either. The loneliness is real. Sunday morning, hungover, the world is moving, you're not. Everybody's been there. I've been there once or twice. Only once or twice, though. What's love got to do with it? I love this kind of writing. There's no tricks. There's no production gymnastics. It's just a fucking, here's your writing, here's your guitar, here's your song. The brain pleaser, that opening image, wishing he had a Sunday kind of love, hits before the chorus, right? You know, I want a beer and then I want another beer. I think this is properly rated as a song and underrated as a Christopherson composition specifically. You know, Cash kind of gets the credit for this song, and you know, in Highwayman fashion, if you ain't Cash or Nelson, you know. The Royals Award, is this his best song? It might be Christopherson's best written song. It might be. That's kind of a bullshit answer, huh? I'll say sure. The Rickroll is overplayed. No, it was inescapable from Hear Tell at a certain point, but no, now it feels timeless. It's not overplayed at all. I don't think most people have ever heard this. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, Wishing Lord that I was stoned. That one line is the whole song. The album setup, it's doesn't apply. Best song on the album doesn't apply. Rating, I'll give it an 8. It's a fantastic country song. And there you go. All right, there you go. Getting through Chris Christopherson's I'm super hungover on Sunday morning. And you could be mad all you want, fucking songwriter country fans, because this next song blows the fucking shit out of that. You goddamn right I'm listening to it in my headphones. Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson, 475. We've talked about Janet Jackson on the pod. We did a whole episode on her with Rachel and I. Go listen to that. We talk about Rhythm Nation. God, I fucking love Janet. This is the lead single off of Rhythm Nation 1814. It's produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. One of the most iconic music videos of the decade, right? It was all Michael, and then Rhythm Nation comes out, and holy fuck. God damn, it was so good. Janet Jackson is one, like, you can never not live in the shadow. Michael Jackson was the biggest pop star of all time, right? Doesn't matter who you are, you're going to live in his shadow. It's a fucking shame because she deserves to stand alone. She is exhibit A of maybe the only, like, a relative that deserves to just be standing on her own is Janet. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were doing something in production that nobody else was doing in 1989. Industrial funk was not a thing. It was not a thing that should work, and it absolutely worked on this. We talked, Evil and I are going to talk about 1989 soon, which is when this came out. Spoilers, I already have my notes because we are recording that very, very soon. And one of us thinks very highly of this album and is probably going to talk about this song and how influential it is. One of us doesn't. I think Evil actually probably likes Janet and this. I know Rachel does. I feel like they should both like it more. Janet cited Ministry as an influence on the industrial sound. I'm going to say that again. Evil. Janet Jackson cited Ministry as an influence. Pop artists listening to industrial metal, filtering it into a top 40 single? Yes, please. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were fired from The Time by Prince because they missed a show. And they went on to go over here, decide to produce, and they made this. So Prince does it again by kicking them out. And I'm giving it all to Prince, all of it. This came out the same year as Faith No More is the Real Thing. We already talked about that. We're talking about other things, 1989, but, kind of industrial influenced. I mean, this was a musical moment. We're hitting it hard on this year. God damn it. All right. How's everybody doing? We're getting close. I haven't even finished my drink. Ministry? Come on, guys. What's love got to do with it? I fucking love Janet Jackson. And you all know that I love Janet Jackson if you follow this pod. If not, go back and listen to the Janet Jackson episode I did where I talk about how much I love Janet Jackson. That episode, by the way, is not just like a Discog read or anything like that. It actually talks about the fucking Super Bowl incident and how fucked she got because we're asshats. Janet got such a fucking raw end of a deal. And just go listen to the episode, okay? Brain Pleaser. I'm going the industrial drum intro, 2 seconds in. You know exactly what it is, and you're sold, and you just want to fucking get the fuck down. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. I'll go properly rated then, maybe slightly now. I don't know. I don't know how many people you go Rhythm Nation people. Do people think it goes hard? I don't know. It's the shit. Royals, best song on that album. Dude, hang on. I just started Miss You Much. That shit goes hard too. what I wouldn't give for Janet Jackson to sing about missing me. My God. Rickroll overplayed. It was everywhere in 89, but I'm not fucking calling it overplayed. And now certainly like play this all the fucking time, you know? John Prime Best Lyric Award. Can I just say we are a part of the Rhythm Nation? It lands. It fucking lands every time. It's that vocal chorus choir thing going. I mean, I love it. Eddie Van Halen Award for 1989, no question, the bass line underneath that beat. I say it again, they were doing stuff that producers just weren't doing back then. And 1989, Rhythm Nation, I am giving it, fuck. It is a genuinely great song that I know it is super of the time, but I love that it's of the time. I love that time. I'm giving it a 9.6. It's a 9.6. Song's the fucking shit. And now I've got Miss You Much playing in my head, and now I just want to talk about Janet Jackson for 2 hours. Miss you much. But I can't. I go, we got to move on, right? We got to move on up. And how much do I just want to go back and watch Janet do her thing? My God. But number 474, Move On Up, Curtis Mayfield. Not exactly a fucking, bad song. This was from the album Curtis by Curtis Mayfield. It is over 7 minutes. It is one of the great funk soul recordings. It is sampled fucking approximately 1 million times. Even this, if you go listen to it right now, you know it, right? Curtis Mayfield doesn't get talked about enough in life on this pod. This song helps that I'm talking about it here. Look, make us famous. Hey, first course first, go tell some friends. That's our thing this year. Are you helping out? Tell 2 friends. Tell a friend an episode. 1 friend an episode. Are you helping? I hope so. This is 7 minutes of pure joy. It doesn't feel like 7 minutes. That's the test of a great long song. Certain people on this pod don't think those should exist. I do. The arrangement on this is batshit, right? Horns, wah guitar, that ascending bass line. This is a masterclass in fucking speed funk. It's exhausting to just try to keep up with it. Lyrically, pure optimism. Much like a good funk song should be. Move on up, move toward your destination. And in the 70s, that's a black artist telling his community to fucking push up. That's not nothing. That's good shit. This is the kind of song you put on a party and you watch the room. That room's gonna fucking change, you guys. Some cool shit about Mayfield. Mayfield played the guitar left-handed on a right-handed guitar turned upside down. Tell me where you've heard that one before. He also played an F-sharp tuning. Have you ever played an F-sharp tuning? It's pretty cool. Basically, he completed his own unique chord voicing, and it was really cool. It worked really well with the funk stuff. Nobody plays like him because you physically can't unless you start like that, which why the fuck would you? 1990, a lighting rig collapsed on Mayfield at an outdoor concert and paralyzed him from the neck fucking down. He recorded his final album laying flat on his back. That's the truth. That's crazy. This song is sampled so many fucking times. Kanye, Common, others. When a song gets sampled that many times, it's important. It's the highest compliment a song can receive, even though they probably don't want it. This is so well written and it's so well done, and it's by a guy that was underrated. And I just don't understand how a song like this is 474. I really don't. If you do, you can let me know. I think that's stupid. I don't know. Maybe it was if the feelings aren't there because of how much it was sampled, but what's love got to do with it? It's Curtis Mayfield. There's no complicated feelings. I love it. This sort of shit is everything. This sort of funk is great. You should all love it. You should all listen to it. The Brain Pleaser, that horn intro, instant, done. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. You can go listen to more. You can listen to Pusher Man by Katie. He's fantastic. He has brain pleasers for days. Overrated, properly rated. It's underrated. 474 to me is absurd for this song. Now, is it going to be number one for me? Maybe. But even if it isn't, 474 is fucking stupid. Royals is this Curtis Mayfield's best song? I think it actually is. I do love Pusherman and Superfly and some other Curtis, us vinyl collectors. There have been a couple times where we got lucky and we got a massive collection. There have been a few times where I've gotten huge collections. And one of the collections I got was from this old soul funk dude. And so I have a ton of these Curtis Mayfield sort of albums. So I have a couple Curtis Mayfields, and I can't name you songs off the top of my head beyond these. So I'm saying these ones, and I guess that must be the right answer if it's the only ones I can say. Rickroll. I could play this every day, probably not overplayed, and it's not overplayed. Maybe that horn intro, just because of how much it's been sampled. The John Prine lyric award. Hush Now Child and Don't You Cry, your folks might understand you by and by. That's fucking great. That's great stuff. Eddie Van Halen award. Hey, who doesn't love a good funk wah guitar? Mayfield is an underrated guitarist too. Go listen to the guitar kind of in the background with the horns. That's great. And yeah, I'll give this song a 9.3. I'll give it a 9.3. And as we get to the last song of the night, and we're almost done, I don't know, this transition from going to moving on up to this is quite the tonal shift, if I do say so myself. I just switched the songs. I listen to the songs Stand By Your Man by Tammy Wynette. This was written by Tammy, produced by Billy Sherrill. This was all done in like 15 minutes. This was a best-selling country single by a female artist for decades, and it was deeply controversial because of that. Full transparency, this song that makes you either love or hate like classic country, depending on who you are. And when you heard it, it doesn't piss me. It doesn't do it for me. It does not do it for me. I'm fine with it. I'm a children of the 90s. This doesn't speak to me. I'm not saying I don't look, I love Dolly Parton. I love Waylon Jennings. I love a lot of the country people. And I do love a good hook, and Stand By Your Man has a good hook. The feminist debate around this song is real. I don't know if you want to acknowledge it. Is it a woman being told to submit? Is it a woman choosing to love someone complicated? Wynette always said it was the latter, so fuck you all. Like, people get pissed at this song. She's just saying, look, what's wrong with standing by your person? What's wrong with it? Doesn't have to be your man. Would you be pissed off if it was a dude singing Stand By Your Woman? I don't know. Here's what's not debatable. The vocal performance. It's fucking amazing. Like the song, don't like the song. Go listen to the fucking singing. It's unbelievable. Billy Sherrill's production on it is lush. It's amazing. It's super Nashville, old school Nashville, strings, pedal guitars, firing on all cylinders. This is a kind of, when I talked about this is Miranda Lambert in reverse, kind of. Can you appreciate a song that wasn't made for you? I said yes with Miranda. Can I say it here? Appreciate is the apropos word. I believe that I can. Beyonce covered this, right? It's been in the culture for 55 years. It's a really big to-do. And that's all I have to say about that. What's love got to do with it? It is complicated. It is a classic Nashville female country song. Hey, it demands respect. The Brain Pleaser Award, the strings coming in on the chorus, that is pure Nashville, and it's Nashville for a reason because it works every fucking time, you guys. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. It was a phenom. And that's properly. You listen, this deserves to be a hit. It's good. Royals, is it the best song? Probably yes. She did do Divorce. Ironic. I'll take that. Rickroll. It's been used so many times culturally but I don't think it's overplayed. I don't hear this all the time. I never heard this all the time. John Prine Best Lyric Award. I keep going right down the fucking lane with this, but Give Him Two Arms to Cling to You. Yeah, look, that's clean, that's direct. I think that's a great message. I really do. Eddie Van Halen Award. We always do this with Nashville, right? The fucking pedal steel guitar. I mean, my God, it's beautiful. And I'll give this a 8.9. This is a terrific song. It's not really my thing, but I'm not lying about the quality. This is great. And those are our songs. We got 4 songs. We did it. Where are they at? Well, they're all in the top half. I'll say that. Sunday Morning Coming Down is somewhere around the top 12 or whatever. It is right above 212. And it is right below Buddy Holly. I think Buddy Holly deserves to come before Sunday Morning Coming Down. But right after Buddy Holly is Stand By Your Man. And surprisingly, as much as I talked it up, Move On Up is not in my top 5. But Rhythm Nation is, and has Rhythm Nation surpassed the best song? It has not. So my top 5 are as such. Number 5, Time After Time by the one, the only Cyndi Lauper. Number 4 is Rhythm Nation. Goddamn, do I love that song. Number 3 is still Where's My Mind. Number 2 is still So What, one of the best jazz songs you'll hear ever. And number 1 is still Welcome to the Jungle. Am I a boy of the 90s? I sure as shit am. All right. What do you think so far? I will say next episode, I am going to go through a little more at the end about the differences. I also am going to go through my rankings and probably change some things because there are some songs on here and there are some albums on here that I have been listening to more and I feel a little bit different about. Everybody, I hope you're enjoying these. I feel like I'm getting better at them because I'm loving to do it more and more. The deep dives are just getting to be more fun. And I'm loving doing the podcast. I'm never going to stop. We love you guys. Join us next week. Guess what? Quick fires for the second quarter. That is right. Hopefully we get some Rachel patented reviews in there. Those are the ones we love to do, right? New albums. Quick fires. Q2. 2 episodes. We love you. Good night. And good luck.